There's a strange thing that happens after 70. Your home, the place you know better than any other, begins to turn against you. Not with sudden violence, not with big changes, but with tiny shifts, quiet betrayals. The rug in the hallway that once felt soft under your feet now grabs at your toes. The light switch you used without thinking now hides in the shadows of weaker eyes. The bathtub you stepped into daily now feels just an inch too high, but also a little more dangerous. You don't notice the danger right away, because nothing's new. Everything's familiar. That's the trap. It's not that the house changed overnight. It's that your body did, gradually, respectfully, but inevitably. Vision narrows. Balance shifts. Reflexes slow down. But the furniture stays where it always was. The layout doesn't adapt. The space assumes you're still 55, still agile, still quick. And then, one day, a fall happens. Not during a hike. Not crossing a busy street. But in your own kitchen. Your own bathroom. Your own sanctuary. It's not a lack of strength. It's a lack of adaptation. Let's look at some numbers. According to the CDC, 36 million older adults fall each year in the United States alone. That's one fall every second. And over 3 million of those falls result in emergency room visits. Most of them happen in the most ordinary rooms of the house. Why? Because no one thought to update the house, even as the body changed. We tend to think of aging in terms of pills, diagnoses, doctor visits. But the most powerful influence on your health might be your own floor plan. The layout of your living room. The placement of your night lamp. The edge of your shower stall. Here's the good news. This isn't about tearing down walls or remodeling your entire house. It's about making small adjustments that can dramatically reduce your risk of injury without removing the warmth or comfort of your home. Think of it like updating your glasses prescription. You don't throw out your eyes. You just make sure the lenses match who you are now. The same idea applies to your house. If your joints have changed, your chairs should too. If your vision has shifted, your lighting should follow. And if your balance is different, your floors must be trusted again. This episode is about 5 home dangers that most seniors don't even think about. They're not dramatic, not scary, not obvious. But they're the reason why millions fall, strain, bruise, or lose confidence in their daily life. We'll go room by room, hazard by hazard, and show you how to fix them. Simple changes, smart tools, clear ideas. Because living well isn't just about taking care of your body. It's also about making sure your space takes care of you. Let's begin where the day usually starts, in the bathroom. The most dangerous room in the house isn't the kitchen. It's the bathroom. Tiled, wet, full of corners, and usually small enough that a fall sends you into something sharp or hard within a second. Every year, hundreds of thousands of seniors slip while stepping out of the tub or turning on the shower. It happens quickly. You're thinking about soap or water temperature, not your balance. You reach out for the towel, and suddenly the floor disappears. And the worst part? Most bathrooms look completely harmless. They're tidy, familiar, polished. But they weren't built for bodies over 70. Your muscles don't respond like they used to. The floor you once walked across barefoot now offers no grip. And that charming little rug you added for decoration? It can skid out from under you the moment your heel hits it at the wrong angle. Balance isn't just about strength, it's about feedback. Older feet don't always sense slickness the way younger ones do. So by the time your brain realizes you're sliding, it's already too late. Let's break down where the danger really hides. Tubs and showers without grab bars. Tile floors with no anti-slip texture. Loose bath mats that move instead of holding you. No seating options for people who feel dizzy or weak. Hard corners near sinks and shelves. Every one of these can turn a morning routine into an ER visit. Now, the good news. Bathrooms are actually one of the easiest spaces to modify. You don't need to rip out tiles or rebuild walls. Here's what makes a bathroom safer instantly. Install a wall-mounted grab bar near the tub or shower. Not the suction cup kind, they often fail. Use a non-slip rubber mat inside and outside the shower. It should have strong grip underneath. Add a shower seat or bench. Especially helpful if you get lightheaded or tire easily. Switch to a handheld shower head so you don't need to twist or reach overhead. Improve lighting. Soft glow LED strips work wonders if you wake up at night. These aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of a smart, self-respecting adult preparing for the future. Margaret, yes, the same woman from the intro, said this after her fall. I'd added grab bars for my husband when he had his hip surgery. Never thought I'd need them myself. But now, I wish I'd done it 5 years earlier. There's something deeply human about avoiding adjustments that make us look old. But the real dignity lies in staying upright, in staying at home, and not letting one slippery morning erase your independence. You deserve to feel secure when you shower. Not careful, not tense, just steady. And all it takes is 5 minutes and a few well-placed tools. Because when the room you use first thing in the morning becomes the most dangerous place in your house, that's when change can't wait. There's a type of danger you don't feel until it's too late. It doesn't shout. It doesn't creak. It doesn't even move. It simply hides in the shadows. You wake up at night. Maybe it's to use the bathroom. Maybe to get a glass of water. And suddenly, everything you know, the doorway, the hallway, the floor, seems just slightly off. You shuffle, hoping not to bump into something. And that's when the edge of the rug folds under your toe. Or you clip your hip on a low dresser. Or your sock slides across a floor you didn't see clearly. These aren't clumsy moments. They're predictable. They're physiological. As we age, our eyes change dramatically. The pupils become smaller and slower to respond. The lenses lose flexibility and transparency. Contrast sensitivity fades, meaning the difference between carpet and hardwood may blur at night. In daylight, the house feels fine. But at night, even a familiar hallway can feel like a maze. The most dangerous part? Most seniors don't adjust lighting as they age. The same bulbs, same switch locations, same habits, even though the body sees the world differently now. Let's look at what usually fails. Hallways with one overhead bulb, casting shadows downward. Bedrooms with no reachable light from bed. Staircases with dim switches located only at the top. Bathrooms that require full brightness or nothing at all. Long cords from lamps running under rugs, invisible in the dark. And these issues pile up, especially at night, when balance and awareness are at their lowest. But now here's the encouraging part. Lighting is one of the cheapest, most effective upgrades you can make. Simple solutions that cost less than a restaurant meal. Motion sensor nightlights placed low on hallway walls, activating instantly as you step near. Underbed LED strips that turn on softly when your feet touch the ground. Plug-in nightlights for bathrooms that run all night on pennies of electricity. Wireless push lamps perfect for drawers, closets, bedside tables. Smart bulbs that can be voice-activated. No need to find a switch. Even something as basic as a glow-in-the-dark switch cover can make a difference when you're groggy at 3 a.m. These upgrades don't just help you see. They help you feel steady again. They reduce hesitation, lower anxiety, and restore trust in your surroundings. Let's say you're thirsty in the night. If you know the hallway will light up when you move, you don't hesitate. You don't strain your eyes. You don't guess where the wall ends. You just walk. Safely. Confidently. One man we interviewed, 81 years old, said, "I used to hold it in. I didn't want to walk to the bathroom at night. Now I don't think twice. I just go because I can see." That's the shift we're aiming for. There's also an emotional layer here. Good lighting makes a space feel cared for. It signals comfort, intentionality, warmth. So when you invest in these small tools, you're not just protecting yourself, you're changing how your home treats you after dark. No one should have to choose between thirst and safety. Not when the solution costs less than a haircut and installs in 5 minutes. Light is quiet, but it either works with you or against you. And after 70, that difference matters more than ever. What do electrical cords, decorative rugs, and low thresholds have in common? They're nearly invisible until they send you to the floor. Not because they're camouflaged, because your brain has stopped registering them as risky. They've been part of your home for so long that you no longer see them, not truly. And the older we get, the more dangerous that familiarity becomes. Our bodies change quietly. The distance your feet lift when you walk, it decreases. Ankles stiffen. Reaction time slows. The feedback from your soles, that subtle sense of texture or tilt, dulls with time. It's not weakness. It's not neglect. It's biology. But when biology meets old habits, accidents happen. You know that small rug in front of your favorite chair? The one that bunches slightly in one corner? It only takes a toe catching that edge at the wrong moment, and suddenly you're falling sideways with no chance to correct. One retired professor shared how she fell in her study. Not on the stairs, not in the bathroom, in the doorway, over the corner of a cord that ran from her desk to the wall. I stepped over that cable 1,000 times, she said. But that day, my foot didn't clear it, and I was on the ground before I even knew what had happened. These are the most dangerous obstacles, the ones we've already accepted. Here are the usual suspects in a senior's home. Loose area rugs, unsecured extension cords, door thresholds between rooms, thick carpets with uneven wear, footstools or baskets in walking paths, low coffee tables with sharp corners, pet bowls in doorways, decorative plants or stands near entrances. Each one seems minor. None of them scream hazard, but each is capable of sending a person with slower reflexes and weaker joints into a fall. So what can you do? First, do a foot-level audit of your home. Literally walk through each room, slowly, and scan only what's within 12 inches of the floor. Ask yourself, does this object move when nudged with a foot? Could I see this clearly in low light? Would a socked foot glide, stick, or catch here? Once you find the problem areas, here's how to solve them. Tape down or replace curling rugs. Aesthetics mean nothing if your bones are at stake. Wrap or reroute extension cords using wall clips or floor covers. Avoid cords across walkways entirely. Use low-profile rubber ramps to cover thresholds between rooms, especially where tile meets carpet or hardwood. Rearrange furniture so that walkways are wide and direct. Remove footstools, baskets, or planters from corners you round daily. Secure pet bowls with silicone mats or move them to non-traffic areas. And here's something almost no one thinks about. Don't decorate your floors. What once looked cozy, a patchwork of rugs and runners, now forms a puzzle for your feet. Keep floor paths clean, clear, and consistent in texture. If someone walks into your home and says, "This place feels wide open," you've done it right. The challenge isn't the change. It's overcoming the voice that says, "I've had this rug since the kids were little," or "I know this house like the back of my hand." That emotional attachment is real, but so is the risk of a fractured hip and the 6-month recovery that might follow. Remember, you're not clearing out clutter. You're making room for confidence, for stability, for peace of mind, each time you walk to the kitchen for tea. The armchair looks harmless. You've had it for years. The seat dips just a little in the center. The cushions are soft from use. But try standing up from it without momentum. Your knees don't respond the way they used to. Your hips resist. So you push harder. Rock forward. Use both hands on the armrests. And sometimes, you fail on the first try. It's not the body that changed overnight. It's that the furniture stayed the same while your needs moved forward. One of the most underestimated risks inside a senior's home is low or unstable furniture. We're not talking about broken chairs or collapsing stools, though those are real threats too. We're talking about the couch that's just an inch too deep, the bed that sits lower than your knees, the armchair that swallows your posture and gives you nothing firm to press against. Why does this matter? Because getting up is an act of strength, balance, and coordination. And as those capacities shift with age, the tools we use, like chairs and beds, must adapt accordingly. If they don't, here's what can happen. You lean too far forward and lose balance. You use one side of the body more, creating strain or joint pain. You twist awkwardly when shifting weight, increasing risk of falls. You avoid sitting altogether in certain places, restricting your comfort inside your own home. Let's look at typical furniture-based hazards. Couches that are too low or too soft. Beds that sink in the middle or lack edge support. Recliners with loose mechanisms or no locking feature. Chairs without arms, giving you nothing to push against. Coffee tables placed too close to seating, forcing sideways movement. Dining chairs that wobble slightly on uneven legs. So what are the signs that your furniture might be working against you? You hesitate before sitting down. You brace yourself every time you rise. You've added pillows to adjust the height, but still feel unstable. You choose only one or two places in the house to sit, avoiding others entirely. These are cues that your body is compensating, and that's not sustainable. Solutions don't require a full makeover. Instead, consider furniture risers, small, sturdy blocks that elevate chairs or beds by 2 to 5 inches. Seat cushions with firm foam, not just for comfort, but for lift and stability. Armchairs with straight backs and solid armrests, preferably at a right angle. Adjustable beds that raise the head or feet slightly, easing movement in and out. Moving coffee tables back to allow unimpeded motion from chair to standing. Some people fear these changes will make their home look like a hospital. But there's a difference between sterile and thoughtfully safe. Modern solutions can match the style of your home while offering the support your body needs now. Think about how often you sit and rise in a day. Multiply that by a week, a month, a year. Every time you struggle to stand is a moment your joints absorb unnecessary stress. Every soft collapse into a couch is a chance your spine twists the wrong way. The goal isn't to redesign your home. It's to ensure your space helps you move, instead of asking your body to work harder than it should. Good furniture doesn't fight your motion. It supports it. And in your 70s and 80s, that difference can be felt in your back, your knees, and your overall confidence. The kitchen is often called the heart of the home. But past a certain age, it can also become its most deceptive battlefield. You reach for the kettle. You stretch to the top shelf for cinnamon. You open a drawer to find the scissors, but forget what you were looking for. And suddenly, your kitchen isn't comfortable anymore. It's confusing. It's hot. It's a little too high or too low. It demands more than it gives back. Unlike the bathroom or hallway, the kitchen isn't dangerous because of one single flaw. It's dangerous because it demands multitasking, and aging bodies and brains aren't designed for that kind of pressure anymore. Boil water. Check the pan. Wipe the counter. Answer the phone. Smell something burning. Where's the lid? Did I already add salt? What was I doing? The mental load of cooking, even something simple, can lead to distractions that quickly turn physical. Let's walk through the 4 types of risk most kitchens hide. First, height-based risks. Cabinets that require you to reach over shoulder level. Objects stored near the floor, requiring crouching or bending. Microwave ovens or toasters placed too far back on the counter. Heavy pans stacked overhead. Second, heat and steam hazards. Reaching across a hot stovetop. Handles of pots sticking out. Boiling water in unstable kettles. Sudden bursts of steam from covered pots. Third, cognitive load. Too many tools in one drawer. Similar-looking containers, sugar versus salt. Forgotten tasks due to interruptions. Unsafe repetition, leaving the stove on, walking away. Fourth, floor-level threats. Slippery tile near the sink. Low cupboard doors left ajar. Pet bowls near footpaths. Worn kitchen mats that slide underfoot. What's dangerous is that none of these feel like danger. They feel like chores. Like normal life. Until your elbow grazes a hot pan. Or your foot slides on a few drops of water. Or you forget a towel on the stove. So what can be done? Let's begin with height and reach. Reaching above your shoulder increases fall risk significantly, not because of the stretch itself, but because of balance shift and head movement. As we age, the inner ear becomes less responsive. Turning your head up or sideways can cause dizziness, and standing on your toes to grab a can of soup can leave you unsteady. Best practices include moving everyday items to waist-to-eye level, installing pull-down racks inside upper cabinets, using long-handled grabbers, not step stools, donating or storing rarely used cookware elsewhere. As for lower cabinets, kneeling on tile or bending over quickly can trigger blood pressure drops or joint pain. Consider sliding drawer inserts for lower cupboards, moving heavy items like mixers to more accessible locations, a cushioned anti-fatigue mat in front of the sink. Even these small tweaks can save you from a serious fall. There's a unique danger that exists only in the kitchen, heat you don't see. You open a pot lid and get a burst of steam to the face. You turn your body and brush your forearm against a pan handle that's hotter than expected. You forget the burner is still on under the kettle because it doesn't make a sound when the water's gone. These are small moments, but they add up, especially when your reaction time is slower than it used to be. Many seniors assume they're still as sharp in the kitchen as they were at 55. And in many ways, they are experience, instinct, habit. But experience can't prevent what aging does to short-term memory or sensory processing. The smell of something burning might not register as quickly. The kettle's whistle might not be as loud anymore. And a towel placed just a little too close to the gas flame may go unnoticed until it's too late. So what helps? Visual clarity is key. Keep stove surfaces clear. Avoid covering burners with oversized pots or multiple items. Use light-colored dish towels so they contrast clearly with metal surfaces. And consider small changes like heat-resistant knobs that are easier to grip, induction burners, which cool instantly when not in contact with metal, kettles with auto shut-off, especially electric ones, oven mitts with a textured surface, easier to grip and less likely to slip. Let's also talk about mental strain. Cooking is no longer a one-task experience. You're remembering steps, rechecking labels, listening for sounds, answering the phone, watching the clock, trying to stay calm. For many older adults, kitchen stress isn't about the food. It's about keeping track of everything at once and feeling like you're falling behind. That feeling leads to shortcuts, and shortcuts, over time, become risks. Here's how to reduce the mental load. Simplify storage. Keep essentials in one accessible drawer. Label containers clearly, especially if your eyesight varies from day to day. Keep a dry erase board or small notepad nearby to jot reminders while cooking. Use timers, even for tasks you usually remember, because distractions happen. Don't multitask, one pan, one focus, one success at a time. You deserve to enjoy your kitchen, not just survive it. The goal isn't to give up cooking. It's to stay in charge of the space that once gave you joy. One woman, 82, said this about her new setup. I moved the salt, sugar, and oil to one shelf I can reach without bending. I only use 2 pans now. I haven't burned anything in months. I don't feel rushed anymore. That's what this is about. Not removing independence, reclaiming it through design that matches your current strength and pace. The kitchen will always be a place of memories, smells, sounds, gestures that feel like family. But it can also be a space of safety and clarity if you let it evolve. A few tools, a few changes, a few decisions. Your safety doesn't require sacrifice. It only asks for attention, the kind of attention you've given others for decades. Now it's your turn.